enhancement. Input enhancement is another way in which the teachers draw attention of the second language learners on certain linguistic forms. So it is a means of focus on form. Now, how do we go about this input enhancement? In input enhancement, when the learners are given a text, a written text, certain words that the teachers would like the learners to concentrate on, those words are either bold-faced or highlighted or underlined. In any case, they are made more salient than other words on the in the text. They could draw attention to a certain structure or a lexical item or a certain inflection in the word that depends on the teacher. However, research has shown that whereas as long as we are talking about the written input enhancement, there is very little benefit of that kind of input enhancement. You have this study done by White in 1998, and his study also endorses the results of the previous studies. So the study actually emphasizes that enhanced input is insufficient in itself to draw learners' attention on the target forms. So it is a possibility, if we are interpreting the results of this study, we can say that this type of input enhancement can be accompanied by other forms of input enhancement to have an effect. However, standing alone, it does not make a lot of difference. You have Izumi's study 2002, who also who tried to compare the results of input enhancement and output input activities, and he found that there was very little advantage of input enhancement. Now, having said that, whenever input enhancement is induced by the teachers, at times the learners, because they don't need the language, they do not pay attention to that linguistic form. So maybe the way we are doing it or that was done was different. And if, for instance, the teacher actually draws attention of the learners herself, for example, orally, either by repetition of certain words or putting that word on the board and then talking about it, or within the text, actually asking the learners to underline that word and then keep on using that word in her speech or in her talk, then it might be more effective. And research, although limited, does say that this kind of oral input enhancement, when the teacher stresses certain words or when the teacher actually draws attention and engages the learners to pay attention to certain forms, that is more effective than when input enhancement is simply provided to the learners in written text, for instance, by italicized words or bold-faced words, or by placing the words at the beginning of sentences. It is said that this is helpful because when the learners hear it, they somehow have more time to process the meaning, they pay more attention, and it is the attention of the learners that we want to engage on specific forms. Results have also shown that certain linguistic items which are not pre-selected but which are paid attention to in the classroom based on the needs of the learner somehow are more helpful and also lead to longer term positive results in the learning of the second language. So we are saying instead of having a pre-selected linguistic item that we decide that we will pay attention to, we also keep in mind this flexibility that we will engage with the learners, and if the learners are making a mistake, or if the learners seem to be a little bit weak in something, then we will pick the linguistic item at that time, and we will try to enhance its input. And so these methods have been shown to reveal better acquisition of form of the language, phonology, that is the sound system of the language, decoding strategies, that is to understand what is there, and which is of course related to comprehension skills.